This is a series that I have been talking about doing for a long time. This is my first ever listen to Mac Miller's music. And I know that sounds insane because Mac Miller is hugely popular and I love hip hop. So that's why this is weird. For some reason, I just completely missed Mac's music. Like, it just never came on my radar. I never made the time to listen to it, which is not because I didn't think I'd like it. It's just because there's a lot of music in the world. So I said, you know what, this would be really fun to just go from the start and listen to the origin of what is considered to be his essential material. He's had stuff before this, but K.I.D.S came out when he was 18 years old, 2010. And I think most people consider that to be the first essential Mac record. So we're going to be actually spinning the record, putting it on a 1200 Mark II, running it through a preamp into an interface. This is K.I.D.S, Kickin' Incredibly Dope Shit by Mac Miller, the 2010 album, mixtape, I should say. And I am going to be utilizing this really pretty variant. Oh, there's an etching on the D side. I didn't even know that. That's very cool. We got a D-side etching going on. It's really cool to be able to dive into the discography of an artist that's so well respected and loved, like Mac Miller. I feel like something that's interesting about Mac is that people either love him or don't really have an opinion. I feel like I've never really heard someone be like, Mac Miller's awful. So I'm optimistic that I'm going to really enjoy this as a big hip-hop fan. I also want to say, rest in peace. It's a shame that we lost him so soon into his career and his life. Obviously, he had a lot more to give. I hear that, his music really continues to mature throughout his discography. And it sounds like at the end, it was just kind of getting started into a new phase for him. So a pretty devastating loss for the music community. And I'm just grateful that I get the opportunity to listen to it now and listen to it with all of you.
When you're young, not much matters. When you find something that you care about, then that's all you got. When you go to sleep, at night you dream of music. When you wake up, it's the same thing. It's there in your face. You can't escape it. Sometimes when you're young, the only place to go is inside. That's just it. Music is what I love. Take that away from me, and I really got nothing.
That's so funny.
This shit right here feel like $1 million.
I can't believe Frou Frou is being sampled right off the bat.
Make sure I'm coming through clear here.
I'm already so happy, like immediately.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now in tune to K.I.D.S. Motherfucker, I feel like the hardest working kid in America.
This is so uplifting.
My girls, we in it to win it, we won't stop. No more going.
This beat is incredible. How could you not smile when you're listening to this? Wow. All right, so that was my first ever Mac Miller song, and I think that was an absolute home run. It's a time capsule from the era it came out, without a doubt. I mean, it sounds so much like the Drake and Kid Cudi kind of upbeat anthems that were coming out at that time, but definitely in the same league. It even had the kind of like confidence and bravado of like Graduation with some of like the just like the We the Shit bars. But honestly, early 2010s rap is incredible. And even though I never heard it back then, it definitely hit me in a way because I listened to a lot of that, and I still do. So yeah, I just want to keep going. That was, as my first Mac Miller song, that was like a 10 out of 10. That was so good. All right, let's go.
I'm closing out the door, I won't be back. My shining sun horizon setting up a lovely backdrop. Ship a gear way fresher than the
It's so much dreamier than I thought it would be. What an anthem. It's just so feel good. It's so good. Damn, I am floored at how much I'm liking this. I'm also enjoying watching Goose sing along because he loves this record. First thing I want to say is that the amount of weed I smoked in 2010, it's unbelievable that I never heard that song. Not really my bag anymore. In 2010, the fact that I wasn't listening to that on a daily basis is criminal. What an uplifting weed anthem. There are so many weed rap songs that are kind of cliche and kind of boring and just like doesn't really do anything sonically, lyrically, whatever it may be. Everything so far has been so uplifting and positive and enjoyable to listen to. And that's the way I feel about, like I said, early Kid Cudi records. Like Man on the Moon 1 is just such a vibe. And it just puts you in a good mood when you're listening to it. So, yeah, let's just keep going. Can it keep up?
If you in the ride, turn the volume real high. If you trying to feel the vibe, throw your hands up in the sky.
This album's such a vibe, dude.
I'm Justin Bieber meets Jadakiss, here to take what says, treat them all like Taylor Swift, leave them in the days all like, what day is it?
Yeah, another great song. I think so far, that's probably my least favorite. I just think it wasn't as sonically adventurous with the beat, even though the beat was very enjoyable to listen to. Still a great song. I think the production reminds me a lot of Graduation, those synths, and kind of very much, you could tell he was a big Kanye fan.
In the Nikes on my feet, keep my cipher complete.
So good.
On my feet, keep my cipher complete. I got a closet filled with shoe boxes. Mom said my spending habit a little bit obnoxious, but a pilot stay fresh up in his cat. Living in a dream, they beginning to believe. My hotel smell like cigarettes and weed. Shit, with what I'm spitting, they should give me a degree. Good liquor, what I'm sipping isn't cheap.
I feel like his flow in that last verse reminded me of Lil Ugly Mane, Mr. Thug Isolation, without the deep voice, which is a huge compliment, and came out after this. Unpack that one. I love how they chop that up. It's so pleasing.
I'm just high with hating on me.
I guess we're moving on to the next one. I'll talk about after.
And I be on my grind, rain, sleet, snow, rolling up good every place we go, cause we try and get high, get high, get high, get high, get high.
Do you guys think Mac Miller likes getting high? I'm still trying to figure it out.
Cream cheese in a bagel, have a glass of milk in an eggo.
I feel like no one's making rap like this anymore. Like just uplifting, enjoyable. It's all like grimy. I think the first thing that I want to say about the last two tracks is that the standout from this album is the production. And from looking at the back of the record, it looks like he has a different producer on almost every track, which is extremely impressive. That not only has every producer basically knocked it out of the park, but they also managed to keep it feeling like a cohesive album, which I think is a testament to Mac's overall vision as an 18-year-old. I mean, let's talk about like the fact that he's 18 and what he's rapping about is about 18-year-old shit. It's not, a life lived. It's a kid, and it still is enjoyable. And I'm not looking at the lyrics and being like, oh, cringe. Like, no, it's actually like it brings me back to being 18, and it kind of like allows me to transport myself into his mindset.
Oh, hi. Welcome back to Kids.
Damn, the beats just are
Follow
getting
your
me.
dreams.
This is almost like some 80s.
Wanna get a mansion, a jacuzzi, a theater to watch my movies, couple whips and lots of fancy things. The kids they call the Goonies. She bubbling, we fucking and you cuddling like baby where the fuck you been? I wanna tell you she in love with him. So we my concussion, yeah she blushing, all red. Wanna rush
Holy shit!
Then let me take them home.
This is one of the best hip hop beats I've ever heard.
I be a supplier, you grabbing on my sheets and hitting notes like you Mariah, obsessed with me.
All right, we got to talk about that for a second. What was that? That was unbelievably good. Mac is 18, right? So he's still growing into his own as an MC. And at this point, he's a very good MC. He's like very competent and he can ride a beat very easily. I think that beat's too good for where he is in his career at this point. Like, he did a fine job of that song, but I wish that he used that beat towards the end of his career when he had like way more, skill and confidence on the mic. But maybe it's perfect where it is, and I don't know, and that's just my first thought. What an incredible song. I wasn't trying to be happy during that song. I couldn't not be happy. I almost want to run it back again, but I'm not going to. He was doing the 80s thing way before The Weeknd. I'll tell you that much. All right, let's keep going. Am I getting Owl City right now? As if you couldn't make Owl City more sugary. Let's speed it up.
So they wanna come to the crib, maybe cook me some supper, but I'm busy, so I'm ignoring her. Yeah, I just touched down in California. This is what I was talking about when I said kids was gonna be some life-changing shit. Bitches.
He's right.
Me and Mary Jane got a really nice friendship. Yeah, they give me money, but I gotta go and spend
He is a good MC. I wasn't meaning to say he wasn't by any means. That's how good the beat was. That was such a good sample. It's so saccharine, and normally if music is extremely saccharine, I struggle with it, but it's good. It's continuing this vibe throughout the whole record. I think he's setting forth to accomplish something, and he's accomplishing it. It's very uplifting. I think it's the best way I can put it. This album is just like, it like makes you grow wings. I guess that's getting high, right? In theory. So he's making you get high without the drugs, basically. So good job, Mac. Let's keep going.
Chevy, please let me roll this weed up. This the main event, so watch the people pull their seats up.
If we do anything to get this paper, so they follow everywhere we go. I got the gang in my bloodstream strong.
Is this the first feature on the record so far? That's also very impressive to have no features, really. That song was good. I will say it's not on the same echelon as everything else. It felt a little more one note, and the beat didn't really evoke this just like unfathomable joy like some of the other ones have. But it was still a good track. I'm such a sucker for chipmunk vocals.
Now party in New York, take the late night subway. Going out Friday, they coming home Monday. Fans notice these other rappers is bogus. I'm supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and the boys.
Damn, dropping that into a verse. Very much a product of its time. It reminds me a lot of like early Drake, like So Far Gone mixtape.
Simply getting high like it's 1969. I'ma be grinding till the kid 160. New York, Atlanta too. Flyer than Santa shoes. She bring her camera through. I'm playing Crash Bandicoot. This beat a
shout out to Crash Bandicoot. I love that little. This also reminds me of Mr. Thug Isolation in a huge way. There's so much more to love on this record than not to love. Overall, I think I'm very much enjoying it. It's exceeding my expectations. While there's been one or two that have just been a little more average, most of the songs have immediately grabbed me. First one out the gate, too. I thought there might be a bit of a warm-up period, but no. No, we're hitting it hard right away.
1, 2, 3, 4. Crazy ass kids gonna knock up on your door,
so good. The wall of joy.
I was still in high school, but now I'm out. And money what I'm about. Trying to get so much that I can't keep count. Get it when I'm wrecking the etiquette for the hell of it. Smelling it when the Ellis and I'm flying in a pelican. Yo, fresh.
I gotta look into these producers that are on this record, because these beats, for the most part, like 4 out of 5 beats on this record are unbelievable, and I want to see what else they produced in this era or at all. Another absolute anthem. I should have been listening to this when it came out, and I'm mad at myself. I'm going to go back in time and roundhouse kick myself in the face for not spinning this record, which would have then put me on the trajectory to enjoy all of Mac Miller's stuff moving forward. But yeah, another great song. Love the scratching.
Kool-Aid and frozen pizza. It's the work of art, I ain't talking Mona Lisa. Dream of rocking crowds, see me filling up arenas. This weed got me laughing like a damn hyena. I've been climbing up
the
great wall.
This song is so classic. It has such a throwback feel to it. This has such like a Tribe Called Quest vibes to it.
Oh, girl, I don't wanna share you. We gon' be together, but you scared too. But I'ma yank her out the game like a loose tooth. When the boy blow, I know she worried about all these girls who approach me acting flirty.
So I'm going to agree with Drew's comment. He said, I'm not feeling this one as much. For me, this song by no means was bad, but it just it doesn't seem like it's on the same caliber as the rest of the record. It doesn't seem like it fits in thematically or sonically. But like I said, it's not bad. It's just the first one where I was just kind of like a little bored. And I do think that there is an element of album fatigue that's a real thing, where oftentimes when you're listening to an album on the longer side, by the second half or the latter third of the album, you start to kind of, I guess, tune out a little bit, or you judge the songs in a different way than you would if, let's say, this was the second song on the record. I might have felt differently about it.
Hello, death. It seems that we meet again. You keep taking friends that I'll never see again.
Time goes by, going without you. Hope you know I've been thinking about you. And I know that they took you from your home.
I love this beat so much. This is also very classic, much like the other one I said was kind of like Tribe Called Quest-y. This definitely feels like it hits, that era sonically, and I like that song a lot.
Driving down the road with a couple more miles to go. I'm so close, but they don't know. Got some freaky hoes and weed to blow. Rock the cleanest clothes. I've been up and I've been down. Thought I was the coolest motherfucker around. But I'm just another face in the crowd. I said I'm just another face in the crowd.
This is cool. Damn. That is the end of the album. Super cool. In terms of the final track, I was torn between enjoying it and feeling like it was a little underwhelming as the last track after how bombastic and grippy the intro was, but I do think I liked it. I think it'll be a song that'll grow on me even more after more than one listen. And I think the outro sample was really interesting. I loved kind of what he did with that. Ultimately, I loved this album. I thought it was very, very good. It is not without flaw, as most albums have flaws. But yeah, if I were to look at this as a first listen and try to give it a numerical rating, I think, there are some obvious 9s, some obvious 7s. I think I'm going to comfortably put it at 8. I think that this was front to back a really good listen, if that's what you're looking for with your listen. Like, the album had moments of depth lyrically, especially the song about death. But ultimately, that's not what this album set out to be. This album is an anthem. It's a weed rap album, and it's a successful one at that. It's extremely impressive, especially when put toe to toe against some of the other albums that were coming out around that time in this kind of sonic genre. Some of his peers, he absolutely is in the same league as the best of them. And to say that off of his first big mixtape is pretty impressive, and gets me very amped to be able to hear the rest of his stuff. I can't even imagine how good the end of his career will be if this is where he's at in 2010. Again, I didn't know what to expect going into this. I thought there was a chance I would not like it, and I was hoping that wasn't the case. I'm glad to say that I am a new fan to Mac Miller, which is cool to say in 2024. But I'm really excited to keep listening with you guys over the next, handful of weeks. Next up is going to be Best Day Ever, which I, again, don't know anything from. But if it's in the same realm as this, I mean, I'm probably going to love it, which is exciting. Now that I'm going to be going through his discography, I feel like his death is going to hit me late in a different way, which is going to be interesting as time goes on. Oh, interesting. I actually like this comment. So Walker Krumholtz says, if you look at it as a weed album, you have the initial hit on the first tracks, the high in the middle, and the last tracks are the come down. That's actually extremely apt and better than anything I just said. So thank you for that. I think that's basically the perfect summation of this record. Like I said during the listen, it sonically does get you high. It gives you that dopamine that you when you listen to a really hype rap song. But much like smoking weed, eventually there's a come down and there's a stagnation period. And I think that this record takes you on that journey, which makes it a deeper weed record than most of them, which don't have that kind of journey as you go through it sonically. It's just kind of song after song. This one actually feels not quite a concept album, but it definitely feels like he put a lot of thought into the structure, and it paid off.